I just got done digging the downspout for this side of the porch. Kind of regretting putting our 6-inch line down that deep. This one needed to be that deep though, so that we had enough fall from coming out of the garage and picking up this gutter downspout and then heading over to the ditch. I went ahead, you can see I threw that T down in here. Let me see if I can uncover it real quick. So you can see that 6-inch line down there. Just threw that T in, going over to 4-inch line. That goes down there. Got some nice grade on it just because that is so deep down in there. The rest of the downspouts hopefully should not need to go near that as deep, and then comes over here to the corner, which I'll go ahead and I will put that gutter downspout and it'll come right off the roof down into that and over to the 6-inch. Down in here, let me pull up this tube a little bit. Might actually be able to see. You can see right here in the corner, this is where the sewer line is coming out of the basement, going over to the septic tank. So just kind of hugging right on top of that, pretty much right at the level of the sand, maybe a little below sand level before I hit the 90, and then head over that pipe over to the 6-inch pipe. Again, a lot of this information is just for my future understanding. You know, when we go to put the irrigation lines in, I will definitely want to know where all of these downspouts are buried. This end definitely well below where the irrigation sprinkler system will be buried. So starting to take shape. If I can go ahead and get one of these downspout adapters in a day, I think I'd be doing pretty good. Still have one over there on that side of the porch to go, run to that corner, one from the other side of the house over to the other corner, and then one off the front porch over to that corner as well. So maybe I'll keep knocking these out over the next couple days, couple weeks. Don't need to really get them in too big of a hurry, but that is a phenomenal, beautiful sight to see. All of that topsoil nice and leveled off, final grade all the way around the pond. Now all we need to do is bring some lawn chairs, sit on the back porch, relax, enjoy, maybe watch some deer come out here, watch the wildlife. So nice and peaceful out here. It is now the next day. Finished burying that downspout yesterday, the tubing for that one. See a lot of a difference out here. So all of our excavating is pretty much complete, except for the last little bit to do at the front of the house for the sand where the sidewalk goes. Looks so nice though. Yeah, really love the look of that pond. They took a lot of that extra topsoil, put it in this hole right here, leveled that off a little bit more. The pond level should hopefully come right up to the clay next spring. So from where it's at now, it'll probably come up about another 5 feet, right up to around where that topsoil level is, right up to the edge of that clay. Really hoping it gets that high, and it should, because last year, like I said, all of the water was coming out of this woods, flowing over, well, over to the ditch, but the level that was at would be to the top of the clay in the pond. Now today, I'm going ahead, putting in the downspout over here for this side of the porch. So the opposite side of the one that I did yesterday. Got it all dug, just tossed the pipe down there in the ground. I'd say it's probably a good 12 inches from the top of the topsoil. So even doing any irrigation in this area, if we're only putting that irrigation down 12 inches, should be plenty far away. Looks like it comes a little bit shallower here, but I put it right on the top of the sand. A little bit tall yet. I'll have to cut this off a little bit. Definitely didn't want to short myself though and have to put a coupler in it. Let's go down to this end. So this is where I tied it into the other downspout that was on this corner, into that blind T. Threw a reducer on it to go from the 4-inch up to the 6-inch. I do have screws in the top and the bottom to hold that into place here and have some nice fall, especially right around this corner. I wanted to make sure that that was really falling. And from what you might remember, this goes over here, goes in that direction, and goes into a T from the corner of this house, then out to the catch basin then goes over to the pond. I did take a peek in the catch basin today, all the way down there at 4 feet in the ground, and we had about 2 feet of water in there the last couple weeks. Today it is completely bone dry, so that just shows you how much of a drought we are in here in Michigan. Everything is very dry. This weekend I will probably be getting my dad's gator, and I will be getting the spike tooth drag behind it, hopefully going ahead and leveling out just a little bit of this imperfections from the bulldozer. Just needs to be knocked off all those tall spots. Maybe I'll drag a chain behind that as well. Maybe I'll actually throw the GoPro up here on time-lapse mode when I go and do that, and you'll see a little bit more of that. I want to go ahead and get all these knocked down though before the stuff starts hardening up a little bit and we have any grass that starts really growing in, any weeds that start growing in. And this is what I'm talking about, just these little hills here just need to be knocked over, filled in the low spots, knock off the high spots. But yeah, other than that, things are looking really nice and really starting to take shape. It will be very soon. We'll be putting the shed in, installing all of the irrigation system out here, and hopefully moving into our brand new house. And then behind the spike tooth drag, we also had a big, thick, heavy chain that we actually found in the old farm barn here. You can see how nice of a job this did though, leveling off those humps before the grass started to grow. And every once in a while we had to stop, clear out any roots or grass, anything that was getting caught up in the drag. But it was definitely nice to get this leveled to a pretty final grade before we went ahead and installed the irrigation system and then rototilled it before we planted our grass. Here's a great drone shot of the house though, and you can see almost all of that topsoil spread around. There's just a little bit of a pile there by the trash dumpster, so that roll off will be pulled off very soon, and then that topsoil was spread in that area. A little bit more concrete work left to pour our approach, and then the sidewalks. That area we ended up just finishing the landscaping on this last week, so we landscaped that whole area. And here's a great shot of the pond. I think it was this nice turquoise color because we were in a bit of a drought at this time in the year. And over in the left corner you can see the corrugated 6-inch pipe coming in from the catch basin that's buried out in the woods. This year we actually did go ahead and put an overflow drain out the back side of the pond to the ditch as well, so that we don't have the pond overflowing on that right hand side again come this spring. Definitely crazy to see just how much of an area we have where the topsoil is spread. That entire area is now a nice green grass at the time of me filming this voiceover. Definitely takes quite a while to mow, but I think it'll be worth it when we have our young kids playing out there. They'll have a nice big yard, they can go out there and do whatever they want. And then here's the area over in our other section of the woods where I planted the clover. I filled in really nicely, did pretty good job this spring, and actually saw some huge bucks out there eating it a couple months ago when they were in velvet. So hopefully they'll stick around, keep on growing. I don't think I'll be going out hunting this year, but maybe in the coming years I'll have a little bit more time to get out there and do some deer hunting, whitetail deer hunting here in Michigan. Again, as for this year, I'll probably just stick to duck hunting again. Won't have a whole lot of time coming up this fall, as you probably have heard. We'll fly back towards the house. You can see the nice grade all the way around. And yeah, the next couple of videos that you guys are going to see from me, I'll list them off right here. So the next one, we'll actually go ahead and install or introduce minnows into the pond. So we left the minnows in there for a whole year before we introduced the bass, perch, and bluegill into the pond this spring. We also will be installing the shed foundation in that video. And then we'll be going to, we ran the electrical out there to the shed. And then after that video, we'll be actually installing the irrigation system. So that'll probably be a pretty long video, but it should come in about 3 videos from now. It entails quite a bit, you know, putting all the plumbing in the ground, trenching everything, and hooking everything up. But that's been working really great this year. Nice shot of the pond. Look at that nice turquoise color. Definitely tell how deep it is, 25 feet at the deepest point. We do have a couple weeds growing right around the edge, so if that continues to happen and weed herbicide, selective herbicide does not work to kill off the weeds, then we might be coming back and digging the pond at a little steeper of an angle right around the edge. I know cattails and some of the other plants don't live at depths much over 2 to 3 feet, so if we can get the pond right at the edge that deep, then they should be able to keep them away. Other than that, we can maybe put some weed barrier around and put some crushed limestone riprap around the edge of the pond. Of course, that will just add to the alkalinity as well. Great shot of the house. Look at how nice the finished grading is now that we went ahead and got that all dragged. Yeah, this is where the concrete approach will be poured right up to the garage doors. We'll swing around the front of the house. A little bit more stonework to go. Sidewalks need to go in. And yeah, right here in front of the garage and in this corner is where we finished up the landscaping this week. Make sure you go down below, hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and leave any questions or comments you have down below. Until the next one, I'll see you then. Thanks for watching, and make sure you hit the thumbs up button if you enjoyed this video. Also, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss the next videos I will be posting, and leave your questions, comments, and suggestions below.